It is only a few weeks until the election, and a lot could happen. I want to point out some highly visible, high conflict groups to watch out for during this election. The groups are mentioned because they could cause dangerous conditions and have done so before. This doesn't mean that they will do anything, but just to keep an eye on them. The first group is the recent immigrants. Some of them have been causing dangerous conditions, especially in the New York City area. Some immigrant kids have been caught doing very bad things, but I'm not going into detail because this video is not about that. There have been reports of assaults, robbery, trafficking, and other things. These are only a few of the recent migrants, and not all of them are bad. The main reason why I think they are of concern is that they are under stressful conditions. They are homeless, possibly hungry, and uncertain of their future conditions. This could cause some to engage in criminal behavior. They may choose to riot or join any riots during this election to let out their frustrations. The next group are the pro-Palestine protesters. They have been causing all kinds of problems for most of the year. I will always support their right to protest, but not to the point where it comes off as terrorism. I don't have a side on the Israel-Palestine issue, and my only concern is the safety of the U.S. I'm afraid that they will seize the opportunity to cause more aggravation during this election process and would like to avoid, prevent, or neutralize that. They have the right to their opinion and to protest. There is no question about that. But they do not have the right to endanger innocent people in the U.S. These two groups are more likely to be recruited to join in on any internal attacks on the U.S. The last group is obviously the Trump supporters. As with the previous groups, not all of them are bad. Only a few will act out violently for Trump. They are being mentioned because of the January 6th incident. Some of them have been threatening violence if Trump is not reelected or if they think there is some kind of foul play at the polls. I understand their non-racist frustrations about where this country is going. However, I don't think any of the issues are worth tearing the country apart. There are still other ways to express your opinion and cause change. Trump supporters, calm down. If Trump doesn't win the presidency, it is not the end of the world or the U.S. Why? Because being a former president doesn't bar him from being elected to another office. Of course, it is a demotion, but he will not stop being an ex-president. While he is in the lower office, he will be referenced in the current position. For example, Governor Trump. After he leaves that office, they will refer to him as a former president again. It's not something new. A forefather has done it. John Quincy Adams was elected into the House of Representatives after his presidency. Andrew Johnson served in the Senate after his presidency. So demotion is not an embarrassment, and if it was good enough for a founding father, it's good enough for Trump. So, if you can't get enough of Trump or must have him in office somewhere, anywhere, then don't worry. I'm sure he could win office in many of the red states. So Trump supporters really have no reason to tear the country apart if Trump doesn't win. Their candidate can still hold office elsewhere, even if it is not the presidency. See, America is not that bad after all. The next thing that I want to point out is that maybe there won't be a physical attack. Have you noticed how many technology issues have occurred with major companies? Those who want a war may use technology as a weapon. The U.S. is dependent on technology, and it is a way to bring down the country without bloodshed. I mention this so that you could write down on paper all the important numbers and information that you need and store it in a secure place until the dust settles, just in case there are attacks on the technology that we are so dependent on in this country. I have never wanted to be so wrong in my life about something. I wouldn't mind if it turns out that I am only a worrywart and things turn out okay. However, I can't be silent and hope for the best. So, I'm going to keep letting you know of the possible dangers around this election, just in case these dangers happen or are on someone's agenda.